Hawks fans, stop me if you heard this before, but this is way worse than we thought. And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take it one step further and say this is way worse than before. Way worse than what we've experienced before, and I got multiple updates. We're going to get into it. It's a multitude of different problems that's going on with our Atlanta Hawks right now. But welcome back to Hawks Digest. It's Chris Tipmore. Go ahead and leave your shoes by the door as you get ready for what's in store in this particular video. Yes, keep on those socks, man. But it's tough sledding right now for our Atlanta Hawks, and we are looking and just trying to grasp at straws, trying to figure out where we can find some good news into what's going on with our Hawks. But before I get into that, gotta get into this. Thank you for everyone who is subscribed to Hawks Digest, helping us get over that 3,000 mark. Yes, the 3K. Yes, we are there, and it's all because of each and every one of you who is subscribed at 40%. But we still have some guys and gals who are not subscribed to Hawks Digest, and that's unfortunate. So let's go ahead and make the unfortunate the fortunate and go ahead and subscribe to Hawks Digest and be a part of the Digest family. You know, because we talk Hawks all the time over here. No matter how big or how small, we cover it all, as I always say. Now, okay. Let's get into some news, guys. News dropped today about Kristaps Porzingis. And, you know, we were waiting. Of course, remember the 2-week span had to pass for him to be reevaluated with the illness that he's currently going through. Again, not related to the symptoms and to the diagnosis of POTS that he was diagnosed with last season. So it's completely different illness, but he's suffering through it and he's trying to continuously get better. So update came up today on Kristaps Porzingis, and here it is. Matter of fact, I'll go ahead and put it on the big screen. Why not? Per the Atlanta Hawks and the Emory Healthcare injury report, Kristaps Porzingis is continuing the process in his recovery from an illness. Now, real quick, we still don't know exactly what the illness is, but as you see, Kristaps Porzingis is continuing to progress in his recovery from an illness. He will not travel with the team for tomorrow's game at Oklahoma City, the Thunder, and will be day-to-day moving forward. I'm just looking at that. Day-to-day moving forward. It's way worse than what we thought, because day-to-day could mean anything. He could be ready tomorrow. He could be ready, let's say, a week from now. It could be a month from now. Regardless, at the end of the day-to-day is just still scary to me, because we need Kristaps Porzingis. We're missing him when he's on the floor, active, able to play, healthy, etc. Kristaps Porzingis does help the Atlanta Hawks in a lot of different ways. So we're looking for Kristaps to get back, and hopefully, again, like I said, I'm nervous when I look at that day-to-day. As I was reading, I'm just already looking at the day-to-day moving forward. It's not a good thing, but hopefully Kristaps get healthy, man, and get back out here to try to help these Atlanta Hawks, because we definitely need you out there on that floor. So it's time to go ahead and just get right into it. Just some post-game notes, going back towards it. I don't even really want to even talk about the Anthony Davis thing, even though, okay, I'll go ahead and humor you. Even though on Friday, NBA insider Chris Haynes did talk about the latest rumor around Anthony Davis, and that the Hawks could trade for Davis. It could involve anywhere from number 1 pick Zaccharie Risacher, and also expiring contracts, young assets, but not Trae Young. So that's just another report out there about it. Me personally, it's kind of like tomato. I'm not saying that anyone is lying about it, because we definitely have different insiders and people tell different insiders different things because sometimes they want to stir the pot. Sometimes, they really are locked in. But I'm waiting to see exactly what Sean was going to say, and it was going to be the ultimate decision behind that. But again, let's get into this post game. Just a few things from it. Don't even want to really harp on it too much like that because again, we were right there. The Hawks was right there at the end. I really feel like the Hawks could have pulled this game out, but execution down the stretch has got to be one of those things that the Hawks are hampering on, and it's got to be something that is being continuously taught out there as well by the coaching staff. So Hawks did drop this game 128-125 in a thriller. It was a thriller, though. I'm not going to lie. If you just sit back as a fan of basketball, not necessarily rooting for either team, then yeah, this is one of those ones. But again, the Atlanta Hawks drop this game and go to 6 losses in a row. And the thing about it is, I hate to say that I feel like I have a part of this. I had something to do with this because I talked about it back at the Spurs game when we played the Spurs back on the 19th. I said, well, the Hawks look like they're on the way for a nasty losing streak. And now we're at 6, and we have the Oklahoma City Thunder, who we play on tomorrow night. They're the champs. I mean, enough said. You ain't got to say anything else. But if I do want to add a little context to them, they have been skidding lately. But at the same time, that is a reason to try to punch them in the mouth and not get punched in the mouth because they're looking to stay right and get right and get back as that well-oiled machine that OKC is. But back to the NYC game, or the NYC, NYK, whatever you want to say, New York Knicks versus ATL. The Knicks, they actually in the second half, I feel like their shooting, especially from behind the arc, was just absolutely ballistic. The points in the paint, when you look at the points in the paint, it wasn't too far off. You had 52 to 50. The fast break points, Atlanta was able to get out in transition more so than New York. That's not really their style of play of game anyway. But they was able to get out 23 to 12. Bench points, Atlanta's way. Turnovers, Atlanta's way by 1. So again, like I said, you see just from the final score, this was a close game. But you look at the Knicks, they had an advantage. First of all, they had an advantage in free throws. I mean, with Karl Anthony Towns, he had like 17 of 18 from the free throw line. Absolutely crazy. He just out there just flopping around. It looks crazy, man. I know we talk about Embiid, but Cat is about to be the new Embiid if he isn't already is. Some of those fouls, absolute flops, and he just throwing his body. At one particular time, he ended up under the basket and then almost ended up in the stands, sliding on the floor. It was absolutely crazy to witness that in person. But yeah, man, that guy, he's using the NBA rules to his advantage. And also, the Knicks, they dominated the rebounding, and that's one thing that hurts the Atlanta Hawks. Because even the points off turnovers, that was close. The Knicks even had an 18-point lead, but again, the Knicks almost gave this game away to the Atlanta Hawks, and I wish they had her. But they did not. So they was able to hold tight. But the Atlanta Hawks, they were right in it. And for a team that was 0-5 in this homestand, I mean, we end up being 0-5 in this homestand. We are a total of 5-11 at home, and we have to try to fix that. But that's going to be, game by game, one at a time. The Atlanta Hawks, again, like I said, they had their opportunities, especially in the second half, and more so in the fourth quarter, to take this game home, but they just could not execute all the way down the stretch. The rebounding battle, we continuously get slapped around in the paint. There's nothing that we really can do about that right now. Again, we're lacking depth. Guys are just trying to come back. Guys are getting over illnesses, like I said, Kristaps. But 37 to 55, that was the rebounding, total rebounds for the Knicks over the Atlanta Hawks. So nearly 20. So like that right there, that's a automatic. That you're already against the 8 ball anyway because you're having so many rebounds going against you. Already so many. Karl Anthony Towns, he had 10 defensive rebounds, taking the possessions away from Atlanta. Now, Onyeka Okongwu, to his credit, he had 11. And I'll get to Onyeka Okongwu in a moment. But ultimately, you're losing in the paint presence because they're getting second chance points. And when they're getting those rebounds, they're able to kick to shooters who are knocking down threes. Because the Knicks, they were able to knock down 15 threes in this particular game, but it just felt like there was more than that. Even though the Hawks won that battle, it still felt like it was a barrage of threes at one point in time. Guys who I've never even heard from or haven't even really played as many minutes like that. I know that Tyler Kolick, the guy, he's just coming on. But you have the Kevin McCullough. You have the Kevin McCullough Jr. kid. He coming out there knocking down threes. He hit 3 threes. Well, and he ended up finishing with 13 points himself. Of course, Jalen Brunson doing his thing, Karl Anthony Towns doing their thing, but the others did step up for them. Now, again, going back to the Atlanta Hawks had this game in the fourth quarter. They could have, I believe, if they was just able to get stops, and if Trae Young plays a better game, I think that we could get there. Trae Young was 0-4 from 3. So I look at it like this: Trae, if you give me 2 of those threes, just 2 of them, different game. He was perfect from the free throw line, but honestly, Trae, I'm not saying he's normally perfect from the free throw line, but Trae can go to the line all night, and it's just like at the end of the day, I was like, I'm always expecting him to at least make the free throw. I am, but he had a terrible game. He was 2 of 9. He was very passive. Now, I mean, he had 10 assists, but I'm just talking about overall play. I feel like he was passive. I feel like he played a little nervous. Honestly, I know still this was his first back-to-back since coming back, so some of that may have had something to do with it, maybe a little fatigue, whatnot, trying to get your win and everything to go on for that. But 9 points, 10 assists to go along with 6 turnovers. Now, 2 turnovers weren't really Trae's fault, but he still, even if you take those away, you still had 4. But my thing is, our primary ball handlers for the second straight game on these back-to-backs had over 10 plus turnovers, and I'm talking about Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, and Trae Young. All each had 3, 2, and 6. And then the games beforehand, it was like 3, 3, and 4. So, again, like you can't have that being – no, it was 4, 4, and 3 because Jalen had 4 and Trae had 4. And Dyson had 3. But regardless of what I'm saying, like your primary ball handlers have to take care of the ball better. We have to help limit those turnovers. Because, again, if we're talking about it, if the Atlanta Hawks – had a total of 11 turnovers. 6 was from Trae, 3 from Dyson, and Jalen still had 2. No one else had turnovers. So that's why I hone in on the primary ball handlers. The paint presence, again, we've been talking about that. And honestly, Onyeka Okongwu and Jalen Johnson still are going to need rest. So you're going to see these small lineups with Asa Newell. You're going to see that small lineup because Jalen Johnson needs rest. So you're going to see Moji. You're going to see Asa Newell. You're going to see Quin try to mix it up because that's all we have. Now, I'm not taking up for Quin or anything. I'm just laying out what I'm seeing. And I'm pretty sure what other experts and everything are seeing as well in this plan is just like Onyeka can't play forever. You know, so this isn't a video game. And even when Onyeka is in there, he has his limitations. Onyeka is playing his butt off out there, okay, with his limitations of height and size and physicality sometimes. But he's still playing his butt off, and he went 10 of 16 6 of 10 from three. Yes, Onyeka hitting 6 threes, and he knocked down 5 of 7 from the free throw line. 31 points, 14 rebounds. You would love to see Onyeka be able to play similar like that all the time, but I understand different matchups, different style of play, different game plans. But on that night, Onyeka Okongwu stepped up. And if you look at it, Onyeka Okongwu normally does step up against Karl Anthony Towns. As crazy as that may sound, he's still at a disadvantage, yes, absolutely. But now that Onyeka has added that three-point shot, if he's able to continuously knock it down, Karl, you know what I'm saying, he's going to be going right at it with Karl Anthony Towns. I mean, Onyeka had 31, but Karl Anthony Towns had 35. So really, when you look at it, and then Karl Anthony Towns also had 18 freaking free throws attempts. So you take that in consideration too. I'll give him all that. But Onyeka Okongwu's playing his butt off, y'all, and he's doing the best that he can. Dyson Daniels had a better game, but again, still from that three-point line, teams are still walking away from him, still going to give him that space and let him shoot it every single time until he's able to have that, to take advantage of that golden opportunity, because I talked about it, of trying to improve it and get better. Outside of that, Dyson is doing his job. The defense is definitely a little bit different, but again, I said it before and I'll say it again. I think it's because of what the refs are doing, and also players get paid to watch film and watch things that they can do to a player as well. So I look at it with that being said too. But ultimately, you want to be able to finish these games. We have to be able to start finishing these games. Teams take timeouts, and then the adjustments, they come out and they be able to overtake the Atlanta Hawks. Also, just the mental aspect of things. The Hawks have just got to be better overall as a team down the stretch and be able to finish games. Stop letting yourselves, again, I talked about it before, stop letting yourselves get so far behind. 18 points, and then you had to climb back. Regardless of what was happening, that's energy being spent by the entire team, no matter who it is. Also, last thing before I get up out of here, shout out to Nickeil Alexander-Walker, who was having, I thought was going to have one of those games that he recently had. That was a bad game for him, but second half, Nickeil Alexander-Walker was single-handedly just about wielding the Hawks to, trying to come back and win the game. Nickeil was 8 for 18, 5 of 12 from 3, 25 points. But I do want to harp on that just a little bit more, because in the fourth quarter, Nickeil Alexander-Walker had 10 points, helping the Atlanta Hawks, trying to still wheel back to hopefully getting that win, and then he still had 6 points. So again, that's 16 points in the second half, and Nickeil was trying, but ultimately, like I said, the Atlanta Hawks, some miscues at the end, turnovers at the end. Bad fouls, bad shots, bad rotations. It's just all bad. And the Atlanta Hawks have got to fix it. And they got to fix it fast, because, again, they're taking on the champs, Oklahoma City Thunder in OKC, the second matchup and the final matchup for the season between those two teams. And we have an opportunity to try to figure something else out moving forward. I can continue to go over a few more notes of that game, but ultimately, at the end of the day, we did not get it done. I can pick out some good things by every player, to be honest with you, because every player has some good moments. But I can also pick out a lot of bad things, and if I start going into that, I'll start really just harping on certain players and certain things. But the last thing I will say, and this is coming from a guy who supports Trae a whole lot. I would like for not only Trae, but for players, because, I've seen other players do it, but for me, Trae does it the most. On times to where, he's trying to sell the foul, or he's looking for the foul, and sometimes he's really being fouled, and the refs just don't call it. But my thing is, leave that for, Quin to try to, combat with the referees and everything like that. We got to get up and get back on defense, because there are times to where teams they use that, get out and run, and it's 4-on-5, and it's an open shot. There was a time to where it happened, and it was a mismatch disadvantage for the Atlanta Hawks. And I'm looking, I'm just like, where is Trae? Where is Trae? Luckily, the Knicks missed a shot, and the Hawks were able to reset the defense. But that's just got to change. You gotta give more than that. Like when the whistle is not being blown, and you realize that you got to pop right back up and take off the other way. That's all I'm saying. That's just coming from a basketball fan. But at the end of the day, y'all, peace and blessings to you. Let's see if we can right the ship. I know against OKC, I know. But it's still basketball, and you never know. Any given night, shots can fall. Other team shots cannot fall. Execution, things may happen. It all depends. But ultimately, the Hawks need paint presence. The Hawks need a big man. The Hawks need Kristaps Porzingis, and still even some depth behind that, I even believe. But, again, peace and blessings to you all, guys, and to you all.